I had just pulled into my driveway after work when I noticed a police cruiser parked by the community pond. My stomach dropped. In quiet Oakwood Heights, that usually meant only one thing. Karen Peaton, our overzealous HOA president, had found a new target. Sure enough, as I got closer, I heard her unmistakable voice cutting through the air. There on his usual bench sat 78-year-old Walter Garrison, fishing peacefully. Walter's lived here longer than anyone, since 1992, his property bordering the pond. He's fished at for decades. But Karen stood behind the officer, arms crossed, acting like she was sheriff of the neighborhood. Karen had recently decided the pond was an exclusive HOA amenity, requiring permits and a $50 monthly fee. That morning, she'd stormed down in her usual power suit and told Walter he needed to leave or pay. Walter didn't respond. He just kept fishing. So she called the cops. When I arrived, a crowd had gathered. The young officer was trying to mediate. Karen handed him a folder, claiming the HOA owned the pond and surrounding land, worth around $2 million. She was confident, even smug. Then Walter calmly opened his tackle box and pulled out an old envelope containing the original deed from 1992. The officer called the county records office. Within minutes, we all heard the truth. The pond and a 50-foot easement had never been legally transferred to the HOA. It was part of Walter's property under a public trust agreement from when the land was developed. Walter not only had the right to fish there, he might have been the only one with formal rights. Karen's claims invalid. The HOA had been enforcing rules on land it didn't own. Karen's face went pale. But the damage was done. People started asking about refunding their pond fees, questioning HOA fines, and pulling up regulations on their phones. The county quickly issued a cease and desist, ordering the HOA to stop all pond-related enforcement and refund any fees collected. That evening's emergency HOA meeting was chaos. 3 board members resigned. A legal review revealed the HOA's actions had jeopardized $2 million in assets and left them vulnerable to over $800,000 in liabilities. Their insurance company launched an investigation. And then came the twist. Walter had actually warned Karen months earlier, offering to show her the deed. She dismissed him, telling him old-timers need to accept change. She never knew Walter's family once owned the original farmland, and they'd secured public access rights before selling it. None of that had been properly transferred when the HOA formed. Things escalated. The local news picked up the story. HOA president calls cops on elderly veteran, loses $2 million asset. Yes, Walter is also a Vietnam vet, something Karen might have known if she ever bothered to speak with him.